Hey guys, welcome back to another behind the scenes episode. Today we're going to be doing something a bit different and looking at a personal project that we recently shot. This is a project that myself and the Qube team are really proud of. It's something that we ended up picking up a couple of ACS awards for, and it was something that we never really intended on actually shooting. So initially we were looking for a property for a separate shoot, and after finishing that shoot and wrapping it up, I ended up chatting more to the owner. Now, Ross, the owner, ended up being one of the most interesting people I've spoken to in a long time, and his story and his history and his property were absolutely incredible. So myself and the rest of the team decided that it was something that we needed to come back and shoot a story on. So let's get stuck into it. All right, so we've arrived out at Ross's property now. What's the plan, Dan?
Just gonna go recce and start our interview with Ross, prep everything for the day, just get him understanding what we're doing here and make him believe that he's as interesting as he is. So spend the rest of the afternoon just making sure we're across what we need to get out of this and I guess making the most of this fun experience. Location number 1.
Got some chickens.
Huh?
Is that lunch over there, mate?
Yeah,
pretty fresh.
Depends how much bacon we brought with us. Might be.
Well, bacon and chicken sounds pretty good.
It might be a bit off.
So Ross has just got interesting little things and pieces. Everything has a story on the property. So we're just trying to work out exactly what's going to be of interest.
I had a blacksmith friend of mine make me that.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Like back the front because it's, you know, but that's the brand.
Yeah.
And then I have got a forge over there, but I've got a burner on this gas bottle.
Ollie's new tattoo.
I was about to say, you don't Ollie after this.
Yeah, so that's the brand that I put on all of these.
Yeah.
On all of these.
Yeah. I think we do one of those today. We're doing some.
Yeah. Like a brand one. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
So after spending the morning interviewing Ross, we were able to create an accurate shot list for the next couple of days. One of the things Ross spoke about was when he purchased the property, there were thousands of fence pickets left scattered everywhere. So rather than throwing them out, Ross decided to recycle them and turn these metal fence pickets into small stools, naming them On the Fence. This ended up becoming the inspiration for naming this short documentary piece. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you ever get sick of the view?
No, when you're here, the view changes daily.
Yeah.
You know, like it's either, like with a little bit of fog or a little bit of cloud or, even sunsets, most of the sunsets, all that sandstone comes up red.
Yeah, just changes throughout the day.
Yeah. I mean, this is my opinion, when you have an ocean view, it doesn't change that much.
Yeah.
But this is forever changing.
What really stood out to me when speaking to Ross was his humble positivity and passion for everything he does. His willingness to embrace challenges that most of us would shy away from. These were a couple of the points I tried bringing across in the final edit. We're on a bit of a budget today and we're a million miles away from any sort of civilization, so we've managed to bring along the camp oven. We're going to do a little bit of cooking. We've got some bacon and egg and make a bit of a sandwich. What did you just put in your toast, Joe?
Avocado oil. I'm never going to buy a house.
This afternoon we're going to do a few shots of the shed. Ollie's just going to be setting up the gear out there.
So, I've just set up 2 600Ds up that way so we can get a bit of nice light on the table saw. I'll probably end up putting a big bounce just reflecting in so we can get him lit up sort of nicely. A bit of mood.
Day 2, Ollie.
Is it cold?
A little bit fresh this morning.
It's so cold.
So morning of day 2, we're back out on the farm. As you can see behind me, we've got a beautiful misty morning. Our plan is to shoot a nice portrait of Ross set up on the hill here. Hopefully the sun pops over that cloud and starts burning off a bit of this fog, but yeah, nice fresh cold morning out in the property, as you can see.
Yeah.
Do we make a call on what background we're going to use?
I think we're going to start with a canvas. Have a look with it. I think
it's
it's like tonally, I think it suits
the
all of
landscape.
this.
Yeah. So Joe, give us a bit of a rundown on how we went yesterday. You get some shots?
Yeah, got some good stills. Yeah, the shed a bit chaotic, but we made it work. It was good. Yeah, no, I think we did pretty well.
It's built, it's sexy,
Yeah.
it works.
Our rig for the shoot. We've just got our Alexa Mini, running our contact devices.
With a anamorphic adapter.
George, get it, George. Get it, mate. That'll stay.
We've managed to get some nice portraits of Ross first thing this morning in front of the canvas backdrop. A few portraits with the stools that he makes as well.
He's great in front of camera.
He's great.
Nice to have
Yeah.
a connection with your subject, have him enjoying the process as well.
Hey George. I think Dan's fallen in love with the dog and wants to steal the dog, take him home. Ross spoke about this being a little biodiversity area that he's working on, so he's trying to plant some more native trees in here, which is nice. So he's cordoned off the area to stop the cattle from squishing all the plants, but he's just going to plant a couple of little trees, which will be nice. Get a few nice details of that, maybe a macro shot up the tree.
I've had a project idea for a long time that focused around land, people that derive their livelihood from the land, that are connected to the land. So I'd mentioned that to the guys at Qube, who I work with and for, and yeah, they came to me when they had this idea and they thought they married up pretty well, which so far seems to be the case. The pearl of wisdom of what I've kind of learnt from Ross so far is an ability to see value in something that's not obvious. I mean, you just see his house built entirely from recycled materials and locally sourced materials, and it's pretty amazing when you've got that mindset and that ability. It's impressive.
Our idea is to hard rig our camera to this little bit of timber. We're going to have Ross come along and trim the end off it. And then once we've done that, we might do a little portrait of Ross in the corner here on his chair.
Nice.
In his element, in amongst all his timber. Because you can literally put it right here.
Load it up. Oh, you look pretty sick.
Stylish.
Looks the part now.
I can't see a thing.
Can't you?
So there you have it. That was a couple of days of shooting with a small crew in a pretty incredible location. These are the projects that I get really excited about, shooting with incredible people, a great team, and absolutely spectacular locations like you saw. So enough waffle from me. Let's watch the full edit now. Just quickly, if you guys are liking the behind the scenes content, help support us by grabbing one of our custom Qube t-shirts. They're a high quality cotton t-shirt screen printed here in Australia with an epic camera design on the back, available in a variety of colours and sizes. Check out the link in the bio to grab yours today.
My name's Ross Howard. was actually born on the farm at Edith, a little village between Oberon and Jenolan Caves, where my father had moved to after the Second World War. We only had a small farm, which was a mixed farm, where we had a few sheep and a few pigs, and then we had a big veggie garden, so we actually lived off the land to a certain extent. Even though we didn't have much money, we didn't realise it. We had everything we needed. We have a rescue Kelpie. I tell everyone he's probably one of the smartest dogs around because he put his picture on Facebook for my wife to see at the local pound. But he's fitted in well. The property here is 420 acres. The open spaces and the land were in my genes. I was always grown up with wide open spaces, and living on a large block of land took me back to the childhood days when we could roam for hours and hours and there was no obstacles to the boundaries. Initially we decided to build a cottage, and I just thought, well, I can do this myself. Once you learn one trade, you can utilise it in many different trades. Stonework, timber work are all the same principles. And it didn't seem like an adversity at all, it just seemed like a challenge. I always look at opportunity where opportunity lies. And I went to an auction at Her Majesty's Theatre in Sydney. Me and the auctioneer was about to wind up and he said, "Oh, we want to sell the stage." And there was 5 5-ton truckloads of Oregon and flooring in the stage. Being a timber cutter, I knew the price of timber. It was a really good investment. So when it came to building the cottage, I wanted to incorporate all of the columns and beams and upstairs flooring from Her Majesty's Theatre. I worked in the mines for 25 years. My real passion was cutting timber, and even when I first started to work in the coal mines, it was shift work. I used to come home, have a quick sleep and then go out through the day and cut timber. Money that I was earning in the mines at those stages was probably 2 or 3 times the average of most employees, and everyone sort of was scratching their head and saying, "Why are you leaving this?" But it was a change of lifestyle. I don't really know where I get my inspiration from. It's just, there's always inspiration in everything. I enjoy making pieces of art out of anything and everything because I get great enjoyment out of creating something that was really nothing. Well, there is a fair movement now of waste to art that people have started, but I've sort of been in that mode for years. And I can look at it any time and think, well, I made that. My main passion now is caring for the land. The environment wasn't high on the agenda of the previous settlers in Australia. At that stage, they didn't realise that Australia basically is a fragile country. Ours was still a productive farm, but it had originally been a sheep property for 100 years, and we could see a lot of need for this regenerative work done, which we have achieved over the last 10 or 15 years. I think currently we've planted about 12,000 trees in the gullies, and we are still planting trees to this day. The next step now that we're looking at is contours on the contour lines. You actually increase the carrying capacity purely by retaining a lot of the rainfall on your land. Our property, it's a bit like the world is your oyster. So I think over my lifetime, I am very thankful for what I have and what I've achieved, and I would like to leave the place in a better state than I've found it for the next generation.
If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and subscribe button and let us know in the comments what you'd like us to shoot next. See you in the next one.